Okay, Fambulem. Pardon me. I bring warm greetings to Una from the TNN TV podcast. Today, na Sunday, the 21st of September 2025. My name is Prince Emil Kuma, and we get a very important interview with a very important guest. The guest not need any introduction because he's been on the national platform for many, many years now, since he come into prominence from an academic, stroke or politician, and he's done a lot of things. And I consider him for be a friend of this platform. And we do talk, here like in the background, like people who are on personal note, but I just know him for a few years. But I'm happy with that. But the point here is, since he's a politician and he's aspiring to become the leader of the country, it's really, really critical that we engage him and try to understand the mindset as to what they drive this ambition and many other things. So this guest is none other but Dr. Richard Konteh, a household name by now in the entire country and beyond, who has expressed his interest, not the first time, not the second time, I believe, probably the third time that he don't do so. And right now, as we speak, it is on Tanga one. But before we go any further, I must apologize to the audience, global audience, for the delay. So first of all, we made a mistake, an error, which we should admit as human beings on the flyer in terms of the time. So we still lay 1 hour ahead from Musa made the broadcast from. Instead, I put them on the same timeline, which get them completely wrong. So as many thousands of people did not express interest in this program, the idea that we got the time wrong just put people them off. And even when we announced the new time, we still had technical issues. But thanks be to God that we finally get them, and we see say the number don't begin to develop and hopefully develop. So those of una we don't join, we ask una for share, because this is a quite consequential interview, and this is about the future of our country, our voice, quite essential. Dr. Konteh, many thanks for being patient, for listening to that lengthy, your intro day. But I'm very, very happy to have you on the platform once again. You are no stranger to this platform. We've hosted you many times, and anytime we call on you, now one person, anytime we call on you, you are ready. I must say that, and I always say that. So I want to say a huge welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Prince. Now, always be a pleasure, and I'm for joining you for apologize to we viewers for the small technical hitch, but I think say we don't get over them, and we get a very fruitful and useful discussion this evening.
Absolutely, we're looking forward to that. And Fambulem, I want for retreat once more. Please, una we don't join, una shape across the aisle, okay? Where you shape to somebody, ask them as well for shape. And please subscribe to this platform, because it help the algorithm more we able for bring people then like Dr. Richard Konteh, because why would they generate viewers them and the word they go far and wide. Dr. Konteh, let's get into it, because we don't really get time on we side. I want to talk about tripartite, just in passing. And Fambule, again, one quick reminder is this conversation, in my opinion, will be a free-flowing conversation in which we will talk about many, many things then. So we're going to go, and sometimes we will come back, but we aspire for go forward. So I want to begin with the tripartite stroke electoral justice. There is some kind of enigma about this thing, Dr. Konteh. You're kind of wrapped up in mystery, where there are so many misconceptions, and then they create a problem between members of the All People's Congress and beyond the country as a whole. What is this thing about tripartite and EJ?
I not sincerely understand.
Are there similarities people need for understand about tripartite and electoral justice, and where exactly are we?
I not sincerely understand why we forget an issue. What we need for understand that the tripartite arrangement, it come as a result of the Agreement for National Unity. One of the provisions in that agreement that then will set up a tripartite committee. We will get a three-way leadership: APC, SLPP, and on the third part, the international community represented by the UN resident coordinator. And this tripartite committee doing work, towards the end, we get a hitch in that the SLPP side refuse for let we discuss results. And so we get divergent views as it relates to the results of the elections. We inside APC, the day of the view, say the only reason why we go to the Tripartite Committee engagement are because of the results, and that if they not give me the results, then a major chunk of that process will be lost. So anyway, for we in the APC, we've been get three arms of this whole engagement. We've been get the one arm where they talk about electoral reforms. This is the whole thing we get for do with the changes were required in the administrative arrangements within the institutions who are responsible for conducting the elections. This now get for do with the reforms to the electoral laws, including the amendments were required to the constitution. The whole essence of those reforms now for ensure say we limit to a great extent the discretion where people have been used in the laws as they exist. They're sometimes ambiguous and sometimes a bit vague. And in those circumstances, when somebody wants to do bad, it did one, and they exploit. For example, when they talk about who's I for announce the result, they say the Chief Electoral Commissioner go decide on who's I for announce the results. The expectation, therefore, that it can either do inside office or it come to a hall, who's I people then go sit down and announce. But when the Electoral Commissioner they talk about that, he said he can decide for go to a village, go they announce the results. You know, those type of things. So those types of nuances we try to make sure say happen again. And the second arm of the whole work, what they do, they talk about accountability. And for we, it can get for do with how do we hold those people where their greatest responsibility for the anomalies will take place in the elections, accountable for the mistakes. And the whole essence of that before ensure say we not get a repeat. So that if the one day where their responsibility are held to account, then they will make sure say they're not going to repeat that again. The third arm which we call electoral justice. And for we will be talking about electoral justice is about how do we ensure that when the people vote, their votes for count. That for us is justice, because that we constitutional right as a people in this country. But say every 5 years we go to the polls for get we elections for elect the leaders that way for govern we. So these will be the three arms of the whole discussions. Clearly, the SLPP government allow we for only deal with one arm. We begin for do with the reforms, and we get the 84 recommendations. I think they're exhaustive enough, and I believe say if they are fully implemented, it will go a long way for check the excesses, for check the extent to which they use their discretions, and for ensure say get an election where they meet international best practice. The other two areas on accountability will begin for do with holding the Electoral Commission responsible. We say therefore remove them from office and therefore face penalties, etc., etc. They're not ready for counting as that. And then the third part, the whole issue about electoral justice. How do we ensure that the will of the people counted? Because based upon we own analysis of the results, with 71% of the results that we analyze, APC didn't get a commanding lead. And we feel say the responsibility for actually publish the results, the disaggregated results by station, they actually vested in the commission. And even in the report with the issue of the 27th of June 2023, the state and they for say they will publish the results on their website, but regrettably that's not happened. And so to date, we in the APC still of the view that our elections were stolen, and that the results as announced by the ECSL not represent the true will of the people in terms of how people cast their votes. So this is the whole issue about electoral justice. And for make you get electoral justice in we own case, the laws of the country, they're also very clear. Whether you get disagreement with the outcome of an election, if you go to court. Regrettably, for we as a party, will not be going to court. However, through the tripartite arrangements, we will believe, say, we will get to the point where people then will appreciate the fact, say, the results as announced were not credible and not reflect the true outcome of the elections, and therefore, therefore necessitate a rerun of the elections. And that will be the intention where the party will get, and that we now achieve. We decide for resort to political action. We decide for boycott government. And we be there in the process of boycotting government, for bringing pressure, for bear on the government, for make the reason why they for respond to the will of the people, where we leader and presidential candidates then decide for negotiate. He decide for go on the side of negotiation, and he engage with President Bio, and they do their negotiation. And we start within now today in a situation wherein we go back to the government, nothing else no happen. We don't go through all of these freedoms. They not yield nothing for the APC, and we did this situation. And the whole tension about electoral justice now, when we get a few people where still they parade the untruth for say there'll be a transition and there'll be a handing over. Me don't of the view say I don't see how that did happen, and I don't see any indications that it happen, and I don't consistently they call on the proponents of this electoral justice, better show me exactly how they intend for achieve this electoral justice, because from all indications, I don't see it happening.
Dr. Konteh, many thanks for that lengthy explanation, which is absolutely necessary. During the course of your explanation, I mean, developed several questions, but every time when the question or thought developed in my mind, you tend to address the issue with the next sentence. But all the same, is it not because una the dita, una the procrastinate, even though you end up for say, you not see? So not a collective party line for say, well, the party not see. So the party has decided to move forward. Like a man like you was one of the architects behind all of the transition process there where you talk about. So the idea that, and we will come to that, you are an aspirant for 2028, it shows to people like me that the party probably has moved on away from this electoral justice. But the thing I want to talk about electoral justice and move on to other things is, in terms of the electoral justice, Dr. Konteh, it's a noble cause, and you say the idea that an election was held that did not reflect the will of the people, it in itself creates a cloud of suspicion, of injustice, and etc., etc. So such cloud will continue to permeate the atmosphere until there is a total resolve on one side. But you can find people the way they say now or translate this as an election rerun and etc. Where a man like you don't clarify, say none of this not get for happen. But don't you see, and this is my question, that the electoral justice issue, which is quite necessary and a noble cause because there was injustice served to the people in 2023 elections, that it can continue, but not on the basis of a rerun, because rerun is not on the agenda.
You know, Prince, I don't say this repeatedly on different fora. The fight for electoral justice that make today into politics. The whole essence of democracy is hinged on electoral justice. When the people vote, their votes must count. So therefore, the fight for electoral justice is an ongoing concern. What make this situation unique? Now that the one that way, now the proponents of this so-called electoral justice, as then define them. Now the one that will sign the agreement with this government will literally allow them to stay on, and APC not get nothing. The very people will sign these agreements, the very people that will go to the negotiations. During the negotiations, we see smiles on all their faces. Nobody never twists their face. The only person who I remember twisting face in one of the engagements at Richard Konteh, we'll go to State House, and then
So you
send us
didn't
a
see.
picture.
So you didn't see your own face. Did you have a mirror or something?
I see the picture, and I know how they feel. It be they pain me, understand? But we all see the smiles on people's faces as if everything was fine. So for me, I think say it's unfair for continue for lie to people. I think say as bitter as this bill might be, I think say it helpful for we party, it helpful for we all if we just acknowledge the fact say mistakes have been made, missteps have been taken, and let we look forward to what the future hold for we. Or else, by continuing for parade lies, continuing for raise false hopes in we people, we stand the risk for being translated into anger against not only the party, but against individuals in the party. If we continue for go down that road, it will undermine the chances of the APC in future elections. And that for me, I'm your concern. I always continue for make an appeal to all the proponents of electoral justice for say, me are they big. We all don't make mistakes. This is now water under the bridge. Well, let us learn lessons from this and ensure say going forward, we not allow SLPP for thief with elections again and get away with them.
So corruption is vast, Dr. Konteh, and many thanks once more for addressing that. This is absolutely necessary. And we know that corruption there on the rise. It's not rocket science. But the people them way they accelerate corruption today. Once accused, the people them way then take over from, including people like you, that una been very corrupt. Una administration was very, very corrupt. It is alleged, Dr. Konteh, that some of those people who were implicated in the corruption dragnet with the SLPP set up, we can talk about that for ages. Some of them APC members then go pay up quietly. If this is the case, Dr. Konteh, do you think now how APC partisans, APC politicians, APC officials should conduct themselves, when they are being accused of corruption and then go pay SAFU? Do you think that's how they should conduct themselves if it is the case?
I no want comment on how others they conduct themselves. If you sabi the people the way you refer to, I will advise that you invite them and make them can explain why they pay back and why they choose that line of action. For me, Richard Konteh, when ACC in 2019 decide for arrest me, lock me up for 5 days, investigate me for 3 years plus, they say me thief $11 million. When me no say I not thief 1 cent. When me no say the money not to the receiver, the Minister of Finance receiver. I no say the money in a bank of Salon in an escrow account where Minister of Finance be set up for that purpose. 3 years plus, I dey go in and out of ACC, in and out of ACC. They seize me passport. They know they allow me for travel. They freeze all my accounts. They don't allow me access to my money. I endure all of that because I've been sure of myself and I've been no say I'm not thief. When they say COI, then they say me, Richard Konteh, for refund 15 billion and some hundreds of loans. When me no say I not thief money, I no say I not do nothing. I appeal the judgment of Justice Biobele and a court presided over by the late Justice Ivan Sise, Justice Fisher, and Justice Momoja Stevens get a unanimous verdict in my favor for say the commissioner for the COI was wrong in judgment, and the bank, commercial bank, come and own up for the so-called money where they say recharge for payback, and then throw the case out and they uphold my appeal. for say invalid. So on appeal, and they issued me with a certificate of discharge, absolving me of all adverse findings related to that thing. So basically, what they're trying to make now is that sometimes if you're sure of yourself, it is painful. It's easier for just go negotiate behind the scenes and pay if you get up for pay. But me, when me no say I don't do 11 years, 12 years now, they go, so I not get job. I don't say I don't get $11 million for pay. I don't say I don't get 15 billion for payback. So I'm not able to start it. And I know say I'm innocent. I know say I'm not thiefer, I'm not eater. Nobody can convince me say Richard go pay or Richard go do a plea bargain and go do some backdoor negotiations. I will never do that. I will stand for me what I believe in. I will stand for waiting right, and I will allow the justice system for I will triumph to the end. And I want to tell God thank you that so far so good. All the cases are we know. All the cases against me are we know.
All right, fair enough. I'm on the record, you were exonerated of all those charges, you brought those allegations brought against you, which is a good thing because we need, you're a clean politician if you were to stand for office. But again, just for pushback on the issue of corruption and the allegations that some APC members then pay up, I want to talk about them theoretically and ask for your opinion, which is, if this were the case, Dr. Konteh, will you endorse such people for they in the circle of your kind, where they aspire for be flag bearer and potentially the next president of the country? Should such people be able for contest, for the flag bearership of the party?
May endorsement or the lack of it not really matter. This country will get laws. For make you become a presidential candidate, you for qualify for be a member of parliament. And for make you qualify for be a member of parliament, one thing we go disqualify you, now where they find you guilty of fraud. One thing we go also, another thing we go disqualify you, now where you get to see, you get another citizenship other than Sierra Leone, being a Sierra Leonean. So therefore, anybody we don't find guilty of fraud or don't admit fraud, according to the constitution, it will get small challenge. But me not a lawyer, me not a judge. The courts will interpret it. Anybody also where not to see, and therefore not qualify for be a member of parliament that Sierra Leone. And if you not qualify for be a member of parliament that Sierra Leone, it automatically not will qualify for be a presidential candidate. We don't do them before, where people there will be get to see, then contest for who na parliament, then turn them all down. They say because they get to see. So what is good for the goose has to be good for the gander. So for me, our laws are very clear. So let we just apply the laws. And anybody where the law catch, but the law taking course, because we get to be very careful as leaders when they administer justice. We get for ensure say part of the effort for get a level playing field and for ensure say we not attempt for manipulate the laws and allow the right things to happen.
Yes, and many thanks. But now your personal opinion have been a Sikh in this matter, specifically speaking to the APC, for example. Let me just finish the thought, Dr. Konteh. Particularly, I understand the issue of the law. And that's a very smart answer. Let the law take its course. Let the law play out. Let the law be the decision. But as an individual, you obviously get opinion. And what they ask is the idea that there are so many pool of people within the APC or political parties for that matter, where they aspire simply because they qualify or not qualify. But the law, according to what you state, makes some people qualify. But there's this large pool, okay? Don't you see this as an impediment, for the party itself in terms of structure and potential, here for avoid, how I go call them, for avoid, all this mudslinging because we are so many? What about reducing this many to a level where you just get strong, very strong candidates You look into qualification, just where you do your job application. There are many people that will apply who are qualified in terms of other means for the job, but you're looking for the strongest. So you root them out, or they don't even go there for spoil the broth, like the Englishman will say.
Prince, I'm very sure say the party not will take a risk. In the same way where in 2018 and 2023, the party not take the risk for the people that we get to see. I believe say in the same way in 2026, the party not will take the risk for put forward somebody we not to see. Because if we do SLPP they celebrate, then they go to court, then go challenge the candidacy of that person there, and we are doomed. And I don't think say the same way the party not be take risk with those people and believe say then go back later on and relinquish the citizenship and left this alone. That risk. I don't think say the party need for take a risk. For make you be a candidate for flag bearer, you for qualify for be member of parliament. So if you not qualify for even contest for be member of parliament because you not to see same way. So you not go qualify for even contest for flag bearer. Similarly, if you guilty of fraud or you admit guilt of fraud by paying back, then naturally you will get challenges. And I believe say the party not will take a risk and rely on favorable interpretation. What if the interpretation down the road not favorable? It will be a serious challenge for the party. So I think say the party for err on the side of caution and stand for waiting right. And I believe say when we do that, it will be helpful for we all.
Absolutely. And just segue a little bit into the Sam Sumana sort of debacle. It seems this is not something where they hunt this man is something the former VP is something where they hunt the APC every lily cycle. He was there back sometime then, and he's back again on the spotlight. What's in your opinion about the Sam Sumana issue? Do you have solutions? How to go about for resolve the Sam Sumana issue once and for all?
I don't decide not for make any comment on the matter where sub judice. This matter now the subject of litigation, and so therefore another comment on it. But personally, me they always say, me when I want for win Champions League finals, I know they pick which team I go for go against. I ready for go against the best teams and win, and that is my intention. I also believe say only a united APC we get everybody on board, that will guarantee we victory. And I therefore believe say Sam Sumana and everybody else are integral to the APC in victory. And we need everybody on board for guarantee victory for the party.
But do you privately bemoan, Sam Sumana becoming, a stronger member of the party? Because sure enough, the logic will dictate that it poses a threat to your ambition. So maybe privately to your friends and family, maybe you do. I know if I use the word celebrate, but as it happens, so even though not detriment to the party, because you've been very political when you say, when I say political, I mean in a positive sense, for let the party come together, bring all members together, because the more the merrier. A house united cannot fall, and it poses enough strength. But people can get a personal ambition. And former VP Sam Sumana is on the level as well with you, because they aspire for the same thing as you. They get a constituency and etc. So sure enough, it would be a political enemy, isn't it?
He is not my political enemy. He was my boss. I worked under him as he was my vice president.
That was my personal
friend. He was my personal friend, and he is still my personal friend. I did visit him, we did discuss, and I did proffer my own suggestions and advice to her in private, and I no need for disclose the personal discussions
Obviously, sir.
He don't get. But as I tell you, nobody not pose a threat to me. I they run my campaign, I know they attack person, I know they criticize person, I know they cause person, I know they encourage me supporters for go against anybody who they run the campaign, who they sell we own agenda to the people, who they sell with track record to the people, and we offer ourselves as servants.
We go come.
People.
We will come to the track record, your bona fides and credentials, here for wanting to. I tell you, sir, we go definitely come to that. But I just noticed you say, they talk about others, and now on a campaign, on a focus plan. But sure enough, even in your campaign, because you go against others, it might be in a hintful way that way you sell yourself against a pool of others equally qualified than like you, probably some more qualified than you, and you qualify more than others. Sure enough, even if you don't mention names, people can read in between the lines who you'll be speaking about. For make yourself stand stronger, you get to position yourself against another, and you get a pool of people and where you go up against.
No, naturally, if I say I get PhD, so therefore I qualify to be president, then we are imply say, at the same, we don't get PhD, not qualified. If that is what you mean by me going against others, then you are right. But when we say I know they go against people, because you don't go ever get me for make derogatory remarks directly against anybody. And
so I wasn't mentioning derogatory, nothing I've been to speak of, because I know you fight a good campaign, a clean campaign. I know you moral fortitude. I haven't heard you other than them where you challenge others who will talk about, like shortly in terms of people that want to take advantage of the party and the kind of stance where you go take like the strong man sort of stance, if you like.
No,
it's not
issue. That's different issue.
No, it's a different. It's a different issue.
And I defend them.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different issue. I mean, just to say, of course, I don't hear you using derogatory remarks. But of course, if you go up against somebody, some people in the practice clean politics, then go talk about an opponent and present, them to the other people and let the people make a choice as to between me and X, who you think is better after you read your credentials. But many thanks for that, Dr. Konteh. The other thing I want to talk to you about is recently, and this is not strange to a man like you because there are many records of you in that kind of position there. There are comments ascribed to you. And in fact, there's a video actually making the rounds in which that tough man, your sort of image, that, you're strong man, APC strong man, that we're not going to stand for bullies. Even though you've stood, you've been there and twice you've been bullied, you're out of power because when I continue
once.
Yeah, once. No. When I say twice, I mean the APC lost power in 2018. Okay, so that was once, and it was arguably an election where XYZ, as usual, politicians then will claim say we're not lost. And then in 2023, when you become extraordinary vocal, they say that also happened again, and we just talk about where emerge Tripartite and other things, the unity agreement, and how the people's vote or whatever was stolen. But again, the remarks what the aforementioned to is some people they say you are inciting violence, and I wonder whether you are aware of these remarks. They talk about that we will not take this. In fact, your headquarters will be in a bowl, and stuff like that. Is that true, Dr. Konteh?
I don't incite. I don't get any reason for incite. I believe in one Sierra Leone. And I believe, say, every aspirant for believe in one Sierra Leone. And I not think say there is a better way for make a demonstrate me belief in one Sierra Leone than for make a go base the campaign at the Southeast. Now a region where they get we for belief, say, now the region will belong to the other political party and not to your political party. So I want for go there and make interact with the people, make them sabi me, make myself sabi them, I understand the issues them better. We did it with the rob soldiers, we they engage on a day-to-day basis. That is the intention. And I don't think say anything wrong with anybody for go set up in office. Now any part of the country, and they welcome anybody for Kana Gwendembu. Now my hometown. For can set up in campaign headquarters day. If I'm a gang, me host I go empty the whole house and hand over. Make the person go make a day in campaign headquarters. I don't get any problem with that. But me, I dey go Nabo, I dey go build them a house, and I dey make them my own headquarters for my own campaign. And I go there till the election take place. They announce the results. God be me.
Okay, Dr. Konteh, once more, thank you for that clarification. I mean, it's good that these issues are clarified because it makes absolute sense. As a politician or even as a citizen, you should have access to the four corners of it. And as a political, aspirant, not mean say you can set up a political office or home. Now, you not come out, but that's the wide interpretation. I mean, I'm where they work out, they listen, they hear, they engage. So this is how it's been interpreted. But also in those statements, you also make remarks where some people say asinine in some respect, which is, the challenge that or the implication that then cheat the APC out of elections. And we don't talk about that earlier. But you, under your watch, you're not going to stand for this, for let it ever happen again. In fact, it's not going to happen. If this is true, Dr. Konteh, so how do you intend to battle it out? Is it a court which you don't trust, even though you are right where you say people don't go to court, or is it some other means?
No, I trust the courts. I trust the courts. That's why I will not make case in a court.
Well, why you not be able to employ your party? No, because with the case that we win a court.
In fact,
no, Dr. Konteh, let me just challenge that quickly. It is true that you win all your cases in a court, but I don't believe that you get much of a choice. Yeah, as an individual, they accuse you of corruption, and you begin to go defend yourself. But yet, your party as an organization, millions of followers, decide for blindside the court. So there's a difference there, a telling difference.
No, difference not there. What I try to tell you now that
okay,
I was ready. Before decide for which you say other people then do, we'll negotiate behind the scenes. But that you say other people then do, me not get all the facts.
Well, you don't hear a similar story there.
The point where they make Naya, the point where they make Naya like that, me, Richard Konteh, now me being prepared for going to court in 2023. I was working with JFK, Dr. Charles Magai, Dr. Abdullah Konteh, and others. In fact, on the day where the final decision was taken not to go to court, I was on my way to the chambers of JFK for go sign the affidavit for let go to court. I believe we had a very strong case. I believe we had a compelling case. I believe the case we had this time was stronger than any other case we don't get ever in the history of Sierra Leone. So I was prepared to go to court. So yes, I believe in the courts. However, the party also gets a reason why, as a party, we take the decision not for going to court. And I've done studies before and the states are now. We get a situation at Sierra Leone wherein there is no challenge to a presidential election where they don't pass judgment on the merits of the case. None. All the judgments where they don't pass on presidential election petitions, they're based on technicalities. So because of that small lacuna where exists, whilst Peter twice shy, the party not being get any confidence in this judiciary as it exists, as it currently constituted, for able to give a ruling.
But we agree that was a blunder of significant proportion. We go hunt the party and the members, for eternity.
No, it's not going to be for eternity.
Okay.
Some of we continue for day of the school of thought for say we for don't go to court, but at the same time for respect the views of the one that will be think differently. Either way, I believe say mistakes have been made. I think I don't state that they.
Yeah, but the point here is, Dr. Konteh, yes, then they may think other way. But the other way we then think, of course, you have to respect the view of the party then. But then we get the benefit of hindsight that waiting them in based their judgment on, if they not derive any benefit from the approach which they took then and decided say we're not going to court, but instead they became the loser on both ends. Then the idea that you're not going to court, I mean, it was just really terrible. You not trust your court, but you not win on the other side.
Yeah, I think it's very important like that people have to make sure they stop for thief election.
Absolutely.
When you are in governance, work for make the people there see your good works and reward you at the polls. Nor wait for make you say you dey exploit the fact say that you get the arsenals of power, you get the institutions of government, you want to use that against the people. It is wrong.
Jagan,
And I think they happen in 2023. And I make me say, when me become the flag bearer of the APC in 2026 convention, we as a party will prepare ourselves and put in place strategies for ensure say nobody no go thief with elections and get away with that. We go put in place strategies for ensure say the results of the elections, for as long as they still the votes at the polling station, then they account at the polling station, then they announce that at the polling station, and then they paste the results at the polling station. We, as a party, will make sure say we get we own results in record time. We go make it impossible for make anybody do the kind of nonsense we then do in 2023.
But Doc,
and we as a party also go resist using all legitimate means at our disposal for ensure say when we win, we vote for count. And anything to the contrary, we go resist them. Using all legitimate means available under the law.
Yes, Doc, point taken, but it sounds like they sound more like in the future tense than in the present tense. The future tense in which you spoke, as if I understand you, now after you go down win an election and you go put all of these things into place and make sure that these things never happen again. But you there on the cusp, or the party there on the cusp of potentially being cheated again, because the mechanisms is being put into place for create similar thing will happen in 2023. Which is still, don't poison the nation. And you see Commissioner East is being elected, you see the process, and you understand elections more than anybody else. So that process is being put into place. But you just speak when you become, if you become. What about now?
Prince.
Yes, sir.
Prince. Yeah. With all which they do, we not lost the last election because they had all the commissioners. We not lost the last elections because the people not vote for we. With all the manipulations we then do, with all the dubious deeds we they embark on, the facts they show say they not win. They not still get the votes for make them get 55% on the first ballot. They had to resort.
They are in state house.
That yes, they had to resort to violence. They had to resort to announcing any figures where they want for announce, and then they take out the troops and intimidate people. And unfortunately, we give in. Will not put up any resistance, will not put up any challenge to that. And it's now water under the bridge. Going forward, the party will for all learn with lessons. And I believe, say, when we don't learn with lessons, we will therefore take steps for ensure, say, those mistakes not happen again. And going forward, we will ensure, say, we votes will count. We will sell, we message to the people, and they appeal to their conscience and the better reasoning for vote APC. And when they vote APC, and the figures then show, say, that APC win, will they go State House.
Fair enough, sir. So let me move on. And Fambulem, this is an interview with Dr. Richard Konteh, a 2028 All People's Congress flag bearer aspirant and potentially the next president of the Republic. We are yet to see. Dr. Konteh, and Una, please subscribe and Una continue for shape. We appreciate the numbers, and please do. Dr. Konteh, why do people want to be president? And I ask this question in a specific way in terms of wanting to become president, especially for nations that are crumbling in debt, in structures or infrastructures, if you like, and then people them are not well to do as a consequence of bad policies and etc. Why person go on for aspire to that kind of office day with all this about what we hear about? Why?
All man will get a reason.
Yeah,
I don't talk
yours.
for I don't talk for other person. The reason why all of these factors notwithstanding, I will still want for run for president, that because I believe in that project called Sierra Leone. I believe, say, these problems where you mention are mostly man-made. They are not insurmountable. I don't get the privilege over the years for don't serve at different levels and in different capacities. And therefore, you don't give me the opportunity for understand the nuances where they exist, the challenges, the problems, and maybe also an insight into how they can possibly be solved. And I believe, say, I can put together a team of people where we were able to fix those problems within the defined time frame. So I believe, say, Sierra Leone is not a lost case. I believe, say, the challenges will they face, the poverty will they face, the suffering will they face, the human rights abuse will they face on man-made problems. I believe they can be fixed. God has endowed this country with natural resources, with human resources, which, if properly harnessed, will able to turn this country around in record time. I believe, say, with the resources that we get, if we just check we expenses, we block the loopholes, I believe, say, with the endowments that we get more than enough for turn this country around. So me get confidence in Project Sierra Leone, and therefore I want to lead a rescue mission for rescue this country from the downward trajectory, from the misery where they put her into, from the suffering where they're going to rescue this country, bring them back, put them back on the rails, and move forward in a way where we benefit we all.
Um, um, Obviously, you preempt me two further questions. Of course, you want to be president, which is right. And the next question was going to be why you want to be president, which you kind of answered because you take the question personally, not for others. And I was also going to ask you about a team, but you mentioned the team. So I will move that question further, which is, it appear like say you not put a team together yet. And the question here is, have you or your team done your assessment? Because on a personal level, since you've served in government, you are au fait with some of the issues of governance and government and what potentially could be some of the solutions. But you also they imply in your lengthy answer, they say, or they agree with me that there's been failure, and that include your government as well, because they've not been able to turn the lives of the people around despite being endowed with all these massive natural and mineral resources that we do have. So Dr. Konteh potential administration, have you put a team together? We don't do an assessment of the entire situation in the country, so that when, if you do come to power, you already have your solutions to the problem, other than just speaking from a ministerial your level personally with things that other than studying the entire country.
Thank you very much, Prince. I hope so say the doctrine and strategic planning, me a planner,
Absolutely.
the development plan. So therefore, the planning process, I understand that. So one of the first things where I do now for even for me own campaign after 2023, now for do a retroactive introspection into the whole campaign process for try for know why I lost, which make a loss. We say I go right, we say I go wrong, and get out understanding. So it's clear. I also they now in the process for develop the manifesto. I've gone very far. And the process for developing the manifesto is start with the situation analysis. You get to understand the context. If you not understand the context, you're not able for do them. So we are in that process, and we don't come up we draft manifesto. And for make we do that process, we don't put together a team. We get a team, but that is not the ultimate team, because at the end of the day, I believe in a party, and there are also some very good people supporting other aspirants in this race. We get for come and become part of the final Richard Konteh team where they lead for rescue this country. So yes, we will go through a process, and again, for the first time, if I get the support of my party in that process, we go get a manifesto. We will be unique. We will take the form of a strategic plan. And if you understand within a strategic plan, you could almost say you got to go through a rigorous planning process. And at that day, we get for do for Sierra Leone. And in this strategic plan, we show an understanding of the context, the situation where we dey in a full understanding of that situation there, and with the short understanding of waiting need for be done, which side we want to go, and how we dey get there. And dynamic we don't come up with the key pillars where, if you make a go into those key priority areas, I will, if your time go allow you.
I think, yeah, I get a few more questions then for ask you, and we've got time fast spent. But I appreciate that, because this is like bringing the best out of you, and you need for explain, which is my next question anyway, which you've also sort of answered in the way I asked you the first. But it's absolutely necessary, because the question here is, what's your claim, Dr. Konteh, to the presidency where you aspire for? What's the bona fides? So you don't explain part of them, and you be one go deep into them. But I promise you, we will do this on another day, because you've also done justice by explaining yourself, as expertise, your area of expertise, which puts you, you're like a good governor in governance. Really appreciate that. You see, now all my question, and now you answer. So in the next claim, which is on which track record will you be running on? If given the opportunity, what will you be running? Will you be articulating, putting a team together, doing the assessment? Yeah, well done to that. But let's segue into generalities, Dr. Konteh. Some generalities and some specifics. But we will come back to the presidential ambitions of yours. Will you confirm at this point that Dr. Samura Kamara, your friend and brother, his leadership is effectively over?
We party constitution very clear on the leadership of a party. And the party after 3 years, after 6 months, if
after
from the date where the Electoral Commissioner, they announce the results, if he announce say you lost, then you get for relinquish the leadership of the party. Until that day change, until we amend that constitution, that provision, that is what we have to live with. So which means by December of 2023, effectively, Dr. Kamara be done cease for the leader of the APC as per we 2022 APC revised constitution. However, because of the tripartite arrangements will be ongoing, the party decide for delay giving effect to that provision until we conclude that process. That process was concluded over a year ago, and so this is where we are now with that process. So yes, Dr. Samura is no longer the leader of a party. APC not get any leader of a party again, he not get any deputy leader. What we get now a chairman with the rest of the executive who they run the affairs of this country. On the issue of Flagbearer, Dr. Samura will forever be the APC Flagbearer for 2018. He will forever be the APC Flagbearer for 2023. That will never change. Nobody will ever take that from him. Just like I will always be former chief of staff. I will always be former minister of trade. I will always be former whatever positions I may hold. Those facts will never change in life. Those are constants.
That's true, but there's a telling difference between you being a chief of staff, appointed and served, receive a salary, but the idea you did serve the people. Dr. Kamara
Yes.
became the party flag bearer, but the intention of becoming a flag bearer and the utmost prize is becoming a president. And twice
Yes.
he felt that he was cheated out of the presidency. So it's not like it won't be true that he was flag bearer. He would like the name to be attached or the title of the presidency to be attached to his probably his epitaph, his eulogy. Okay, but unfortunately, it's not the case. Dr. Konteh, thank you very much, for saying this publicly, and this is quite necessary. But have you picked up the phone, because you serve in many committees, and structures along with Dr. Samora during the transitioning process, and you understand the inside operation of the entire exercise. But Dr. Samora Kamara, with all honesty, appeared to be speaking from both sides of his mouth. At some point, he's giving people the impression that he's still running things, that there is hope in electoral justice in terms of being returned to power. People are not so ashobi, people are not pull dates, they're not run out of dates na the 12-month calendar. Have you picked up the phone and spoken to Dr. Samora, say, look, brother, call this off?
No.
Why not?
But I don't make attempts for reach out to them.
They're not picking up your calls. Okay, we can understand that the acrimony because you left them, and you know go announce the election results where una put una form them together.
No. Make I make this point clear.
No, I just they pull your leg. I just they pull your leg on that one day, but we yeah, but we know say the APC come with RRF forms and claim say then win the election based on the RRF forms, then we then collect. But who will go and do this announcement?
Correction.
Yeah, stand to be corrected. Thank you.
Let me lead the process for collate those 71% results. And based upon those results, with conclusion now that APC had a commanding lead. But there was still 29% outstanding. And that 29% by the projections can affect the final average. Okay? But it's not sufficient for make anybody before say he win on the first ballot. Nobody not go able to get 55%. But Dr. Samora Kamara had a commanding lead, and our points were very clear on that. Yeah?
When you say yeah, go on, sir. Go on, sorry.
And we are saying that there is no way where the SLPP before get 55% on the first ballot. And with findings in that regard agree with the findings of even the new Elections Watch and by some broader analysis, all the observers, all the different analysts and commentators on the elections at Sierra Leone share that view, we're consistent with we findings as APC. The issue now was how do we move forward? And that is where, with the leadership of Samora being get in your own way, in terms of how it be preferred dialogue.
Yeah, and, but the truth be told, Dr. Konteh, is now with the the whole exercise, you've been academic, and the pronouncement of words and sentences and jargons, a commanding lead. But we know say truly that the leader was saying and keeps saying that he won the elections. I agree with you, because anybody with two brain cells for rub together know that nobody, could get that 55%. International observers there, Marcella Sambas knew, they all make them clear. And waiting we see, we know say nobody not been get that winning number. But yes, a commanding lead, it make absolute sense. But the fact is, Dr. Samurai is claiming that he won the elections, and this is something that you know. But let's go forward, Dr. Konteh. And I really appreciate the candor tonight, because this could set many matters to rest, because you come from the inside. Many thanks, sir. Dr. Konteh, under current circumstances, And when I say current circumstances, it's been difficult for the All People's Congress in opposition. And opposition normally difficult. And this particular opposition during this period is extremely difficult because they don't banguna hit them, they don't jailuna, they don't fine una, you know, they don't dismiss una. And this is like 7 years and still counting, probably 3 years more to go. How are you coping? When I say you, I mean a capital Y, like you guys, you know, you're like a party. And what's the future for the All People's Congress, Dr. Konteh?
The future for the APC is very bright, and confidence the APC will come back to power in 2028, and APC will form the next government in Sierra Leone. The challenges where we face inside we party not unique to APC. Every party in opposition in the African context, or even in the Western context, they always face these challenges. You go to America, you see the challenges today on for the topical issue now. Now Kamala Harris now they begin position itself, and they already begin to line up now possible contenders with them. Buttigieg, the Pennsylvania governor, etc., and the Newsom from California, and the list is growing. And so it's normal when party day in opposition, they always get different names. They come up, different people, then they vie for the same position. But me don't always maintain, say that is not enmity. That is democracy at work. What's important, make the rules be clear, make everybody where one for run, make it run. And as long as it is in conformity with the laws as they exist at the point where they conduct the elections, and they not attempt for manipulate anything for favor anybody. They have charm. Like chieftaincy election. What they say in one mama, one daddy, brother, it has not to pop on you. These things we don't see how they happen. You know, just because they deferred for chieftaincy. So in this case, strange for me. For make we see one person or the other 110 past the flare, 110, one slack comment go come. It's normal. But at the end of the day, and this is my message to all of my colleagues, let we all exercise we rights, with democratic rights. But in doing so, let we know say at the end of the day, that one person get for win. We all know get for win. That one person get for be flag bearer. And when we get that one person, we get for be flag bearer, let we all know say we all get for rally around that flag bearer, because at the end of the day, the party is greater than all of us. And my hope and prayer that whoever that person get for be, and I'm not saying that you get for be Richard Konteh, you get for be magnanimous in victory. You get for be magnanimous in victory, for able to bring everybody together. Bring everybody together, see the value in everybody, and try to see how we can exploit all of those values for build a formidable team. We go able to lead we into elections, win the elections, and then embark on the governance of this country and change the trajectory and learn from all the mistakes that don't happen and make sure we will not repeat them again.
Okay, Dr. Konteh, on the same basis, we will talk about challenges for the party and so forth and so on. And obviously, you're there ahead of me. But still, I go ask you this so we make it more personal in terms of the same challenges where the party they go through. But you now, as a party person, a big wig, somebody where they aspire for become the flag bearer and potentially the president. Let's talk about your vision, and the challenges the way, because definitely, even though you sound so positive, you cannot say that there are no challenges. But I pose the question to you, Dr. Konteh. Can you give us a bird's eye view of your vision then for the country, the party and the country, and then the leadership challenges them where you face if you are facing any, because probably you are good.
My vision is for a united APC, a united Sierra Leone, a Sierra Leone where every Sierra Leonean will be given an equal and unfettered opportunity for actualizing your potentials. I not believe say we get to Sierra Leone where they for a few and not for the others. We therefore embrace everybody, allow everybody for occupational protection. That is my vision. That is the Sierra Leone I envisage. That's the new Sierra Leone I envisage. But I know say we don't face obstacles to this process. And me personally believe say for make we get unity in this country, we need peace. And for make we get sustainable peace in this country, we need justice. So therefore, if we want to get sustainable peace in this country, if we want to get justice in this country, then we for ensure say all the heinous crimes for which people are very, very disturbed and they want to go for the jugular, we need for reassure people for say you no need for take the law into your own hands. You no need for go for tonangi. You no need for fight for yourself. We have a government, we have a judiciary, we have a system that works. Therefore, me, Richard Konteh, they say, those issues must be investigated. Because now only when people then get the assurance, say, if I am wronged, I can seek redress in the courts. Now we go avoid tonagi. Now we go get sustainable peace. So we shall therefore investigate and go wherever the evidence leads. And whoever is found culpable will face the full force of the law. This now, another thing they want to talk, they say me they threaten. No.
But I want to ask you this, Dr. Konteh.
That for make we get sustainable peace, we need justice. And for make we get justice, we fear. We get for investigate properly, make sure say nobody is wrongfully charged, nobody is wrongfully punished. I believe say right for make people they will commit heinous crimes, they move about freely, whereas others they live the rest of their lives with the agony and pain as a result of those things they put to them. Those things we're going to put them behind. We're going to go through a healing process and we're going to build a united Sierra Leone. That is why we're going to have an agenda for harmony, opportunity, and transformation in Sierra Leone. A hot agenda.
So that borders into my next question. We just come up from out of which you see. In the meantime, there's a comment where I just stick on the screen, where I go also want to let you address because it's quite important. And I know few people and I know ask question when they post to you, but because we not really get time and I go ask for forgiveness. Next time we'll bring Dr. Konteh. We will make a much more interactive. You want to ask you question, maybe we will take telephone calling, but we will work on that. But Dr. Konteh, in terms of what you just say, the amount of social injustices and how they need for resolve these issues, is this government not gone too far that they cannot come back on these issues? So many spent cases, unresolved, unanswered, and etc. Do you have confidence that they will look into them? Do they really have the time? Or are we talking about a government in the waiting that when they come, then go try for, redress all these issues, all these things that have gone wrong, all the killings, the jailings, the injustices, and etc.?
This government not get any plans to do that. And I don't believe say they're in their best interest to do that. But I believe say if we want to avoid tonangi, if we want to ensure say we live in harmony and sustainable peace in this country, we have to do that. And I'm saying when APC come back in power and with Richard Konteh as president, we shall investigate. We shall give back confidence, build confidence in the people for say the judiciary can work. You don't need to take the law into your own hands. We'll get a system where they work and the law will take its course.
Dr. Konteh, the sustenance of any society the world over is based on youthfulness, whether not the energy sector or whether not the work sector. Any country where you get youthfulness in them, people where they grow up, they are the future. But in we country, as this person mentioned, there is this drug thing we don't engulf the entire country, which is plaguing the entire country, Dr. Konteh. And it's really unfortunate that young people are getting caught up in their numbers, which is destroying the very fabric of the society, the very future of the society. As a potential leader, in a government in waiting, how will you address this issue both in the now and what would you intend to do should you come to power? They talk about this Kush crisis.
Thank you very much. I think I don't state that some of us have suffered personally as a result of this Kush epidemic we don't hit the country. And we therefore strongly believe that we not for allow other people for suffer, which is some of we don't suffer. I don't travel around this country. Even just this past weekend, I go to Cambia. Over about 50 youths then come around me, all under the influence of Kush. I go to the district council, I meet one lady where they try to get a rehabilitation center. And they send me pictures of picking there where they suffer from Kush. And so including some interviews. 2 weeks ago, my brother and friend, JFK, go under the bridge, Nalomli. They go get an interaction with some of the picking there where they suffer from this drug abuse.
Kush. Yeah.
And if you go all over the city, all over the country, you see a heightened increase in the negative influence of Kush. Regrettably, the noises who they hear, they suggest, say, people in high places are actually complicit in this whole drug menace. So what will Richard do? The first thing we go do now for ensure, say, we cut off the supply chain, for ensure, say, no new drugs not come into the country. 2, we go investigate the sources of these drugs. Whether they bring and come, whether they manufacture them, whether they distribute them, whether they resell them. We forget them all, and we will go wherever the evidence leads. And when anybody is found culpable, the law will take its course. We, however, not for just stop at stopping the inflow of the drugs or holding the perpetrators accountable for this the way they happen. We get for also now care for the one that were already victims. And so therefore, we get for established rehabilitation centers in all districts of this country. And we therefore make sure, say, they are properly equipped and resourced with the right people with the professional skills. Because sometimes, if you don't get the people again with the professional skills for able to handle their cases there, it will make matters even worse. So we have to rehabilitate these kids and ensure, say, we send them back into society and make them become useful. In doing this, however, we not for lose sight of the root causes of some of these problems. This lady in Akambia sent to me an audio yesterday where they interview one Peking, where he said the reason why he take up to drugs and they live now in these camps, that because in Papa separate from his mama. He gets 2 sisters, not then 3. The Papa drove them. The new Papa where they get the side where in mama go married. That man they say in the woman he married, they care for the pikin them. The pikin in Papa where left in mama not able to take care of them either. So the pikin take to heart and they resort to this type of drugs. We get plenty picking them where don't take up to drugs because their parents they're not able to pay for them fees, and so they drop out of colleges, drop out of other institutions. They feel frustrated, they feel depressed, and they lose out. For others, there are other societal norms, peer pressure and other things where they come to play, where they influence that negatively. And we need for therefore get measures in place for address all of these root causes for just say we reduce that. I mean, for example, they say, when we come into governance, one thing we could do for ensure, say, all man able to work for land, nobody no go drop out of university or any tertiary institution again because your papa or mama or parents or relatives that will pay for you. Government could get a loan scheme where they will put in place. Wherein, as soon as you get your qualifications, you apply at college, you get the approval, then you can apply, go online. You don't need anybody a recommendation. You can go online, fill in your papers, you qualify, you get your loan, and then government will pay the money directly from the banks will pay the money directly to the college. And all you need for doing is to go and study. We will make that one available and go support we begin them in doing that because we believe it's right. APC will just start for one. The small gap will be left, not just small gap. We believe so we can fill it up by some fiscal discipline and other innovative revenue generation strategies we will put in place. So that is what I believe we will do, and definitely it is something where dear to my heart, and it's something we're going to do, and we're going to ensure that we future, because these youths are our future. And if you dare in Sierra Leone and you go around this country, you will see. And these boys are so intelligent. They are so intelligent. Yesterday, I meet one, yesterday, I meet one in Gambia. We say he come from the Lieutenant Prince of Wales. He say that former RAF leader, Maurice Kalon, within Rwanda and a prison, in Pekin. Understand? Yes.
Have you got his contact?
Intelligent. He's so intelligent.
Dr. Konteh, you get his boy in contact. I'm in contact with him, Daddy, na Rwanda. You know, we do talk. I don't interview them before. Yeah, please get in contact for me. Yeah. I know Maurice, and Maurice and myself can always talk and exchange. He can brief me up, and I don't interview them in general.
I felt so bad.
Wow.
And there are so many of such cases. I can't have put local, the same scenario. Young, intelligent Pekin. It's sad.
But let's leave this. Let's leave this for another program because this issue here is huge. But I like the way you address them because you touch on everything, not just one particular aspect of the whole package. You know, from distributor them to end user them, victims them, and programs and infrastructure and whatever, you know, is the solution to such a problem. That's the full package. And Fambulem, we are in conversation with Dr. Richard Konteh, APC, Flagbearer, aspirant and potential 2028 presidential nominee, if you will like. And we talk some serious thing there. I've been promoting to say we go do a free-flowing conversation. So sometimes we can don't talk about something and go appear like say we come back to Ram, but there's a caveat to every question we appear like say we repeat them. And this brings me back to a bit of a reflection, Dr. Konteh, which is since APC lost power in 2018, they don't go through hell and back. I don't know whether they don't come back safe, but Kutin and not happen, and you address a lot of it. This time, the question I want to ask is like, would you say waiting go wrong? And if you say waiting go wrong, which means the party will have done a soul searching, they will have agreed and understand, say, now this, now we miss out, now this will not do. I mean, solutions. So my question, Dr. Konteh, do we know what went wrong? Has it been fixed? Is it been fixed? How far or what gains in terms of quantity, if you can quantify them, maybe percentage-wise, if you like, just average, has been made or is being made so far? And they talk about in terms of unity, because what happened from 2018 is sort of balkanized the party, if you like, a faction them, you know, here emerge. Take to this point to start with to the point of 2023 elections, go into elections fragmented, and then we see when you have talk. So where exactly are we, Dr. Konteh?
We'll not go into 2023 elections fragmented.
Okay.
For the first time in the history of Sierra Leone, all Flagbearer aspirants came together and endorsed Dr. Samura and pledged our support for him. All of us, without exception, all of us who supported him. And we made ourselves available to support him. Some of us sacrificially went the extra mile to do the little we could to support the cause. APC, after the 2018 elections, acknowledged same mistakes were made. They set up a 9-man committee for investigate waiting go wrong. And there's the report, and there's a white paper to that effect. So we know the problems. But a key issue will be come out of that entire process, that before say, with constitution get issues. This give back to the NRL. They raise their own issues. Then it lead me to a new constitution. This new constitution, now we dey try now for implement. But like any other constitution, any side, it go always get some issues where we go revisit with time. There's nothing like a perfect constitution. There will always be issues. So once we start for implement them, we will always see some issues here and there, and we will address them. So that is what we did for 2018 to 2023. I tell you, say, in the run-up to 2023, before even we get a flag bearer, maybe lead a process where we put together a team where include Dr. Samura, and we prepare a strategic document where we clearly outline what we need for do if we win the 2023 elections. And that document will make available to Dr. Samura to the leadership of the party, then get them. 2023 come, I'm not sure say they implement the recommendations where they said that document. But me, as Richard Konteh with my team, after 2023, we do a retroactive introspection into the past elections. Firstly, for know why me lost, why I not win the flag bearership, for try to understand it better. I would do it differently. But in a broader perspective, for also understand the challenges where we face as a party. And those challenges become the basis for the further analysis where we do for try to develop we manifesto for identify what needs to be done, going for one where with which resources. So this is the process that we are on. The party APC is getting challenges. Poverty is endemic. The party is as strong as its members. With members, then poor. Money not day. Times are hard. No people there will be get jobs. They don't sack them unceremoniously from their jobs. The few where they don't shame, they will keep their jobs, then they deprive them of their rights and privileges in their jobs. The entitlements, they deprive them, no promotion, nothing. So it's just levels of suffering for we people. And so our people are very, very vulnerable. Now we try for a launch the party, try for reposition the party under the current leadership for us to prepare for the next elections. Is the process that we are going through perfect? I don't think so. But will Richard come on this medium to watch that leaders in public? I will not. I believe whatever concerns we have, we would go in-house, we go engage on those issues in-house. If we get for hala pa ourselves, we go hala pa ourselves. By the end of the day, we will come up with an understanding of how we get to move together. Because at the end of the day, for me, the party is bigger than we all. Sierra Leone is bigger than we party. And we all get for work together for build a stronger APC and for build a stronger Sierra Leone.
Absolutely, Dr. Konteh. I agree with all what you just elucidate. I do actually agree. Famule, when they talk to Dr. Richard Konteh, potential president, Flagbearer aspirant 2028. And when they talk on many issues there, from it can go all over the place. And of course, is always a soldier prepared. We get for bring other aspirants then come on this platform. We don't write to JFK. I just want for Leona know we don't ask JFK for come. Dr. Mara, we hope for host them. and a host of others, yeah, when they bring them come at this platform. So una keep una eyes them open. Dr. Conte, I want to go into theoretical things then begin about a potential Dr. Conte presidency. In other words, all man now know that the economy in a salon is in shambles. Yeah, you don't need for be Albert Einstein for let you know that. Yeah, even Peking they all know that because then they feel the pinch, the crunch of the economy. This not your area of expertise. We know your area of expertise, which also covered, yeah, like international development and etc. So yes, you get a very colorful resume. We know. But my question to you directly, Dr. Conte, is on day one, owing to what we know about the economy right now, and we see how people and they suffer. As president of Sierra Leone, yeah, what would you do immediately for turn the economy around from day one where you enter office? For turn the economy around so that it will begin for work for the Sierra Leonean people.
Thank you very much. The problem with the economy, I'm not an economist, and I'm glad the way you mentioned that. But I don't serve in the Ministry of Finance. I don't head institutions. So I know it's now financial management more. For a country at a bigger scale. Waiting we go do from day one. If you look at the current economic situation of this country, the better say we spend more than waiting we generate. So the first thing we get for do now for ensure say we check reckless spending. Quote you quote according to your size. 2, we get for try for block the leakages in the system. There are too many leakages in the system. We get for block them so that we will take up those wastages. 3, we get for streamline the wage bill. The wage bill is too high, and we get for make sure say we rationalize them and bring our account down to manageable levels. 4, we get for reduced taxes across the board. Me believe say you know they increase revenue by simply increasing taxes. Rather, would they lower taxes and broaden the tax base and try to get people from the informal sector into the formal sector, and also get into the habit for pay taxes. The analysis don't reveal say most business people in this country pay taxes, especially the big businesses. They don't pay at all, or then they underpay taxes and they deprive country of the benefits of taxes. And part of the reason sometimes is because people they still direct benefit from paying taxes. So we get for ensure say we do that. On the broader level, we don't also ensure say we get a serious problem with the foreign exchange. But we get the minerals, we export them, we export other things out of this country. But it will interest you for note say, what they export, the dollars know they come back into this country. We export our one-way traffic, money they come back. So the country they derive the full benefit from this. So we got forget do one of two things, or both. One, we institute an export inspection regime. We will allow you for know exactly what we export and the value of what we export, so we can charge the appropriate royalties and other taxes there appropriately. 2, we get a law where they ensure say anything each time we export, you get for repatriate a certain percentage of the money back into Sierra Leone, or else they no will allow you for export again. So we get for revisit some of these agreements and put into those agreements that provision for ensure say when you export, you get for repatriate the money, then come back to Sierra Leone and feed into the banking system. We get for interesting for no say most of these big mining companies, most of these big businesses when they say they can't invest in this country, the money they ever can as alone. The money they out, when they do procurement, they procure outside. So even with commercial banks for the benefit, we don't forget the law where they assure say all procurement therefore be originated locally. so that the commercial banks themselves could benefit from that procurement. And the medium to longer term, we are studying it. They don't try in Ghana to very good effect. We make them succeed for strengthen the value of the cedi against the dollar in a very short time. And what did they do now that all the minerals, the cocoa, the gold, where they export, for example, the government now they buy all the cocoa and buy all the gold from the mining companies in cities. So in this case, government will buy all the diamonds, all the iron ore, everything in loans. Government exports. When government exports, the money they come back in dollars, they strengthen. But each time where any of these companies want for transfer any money for do procurement or whatever, the government they get money for pay. If you want for pay shares, dividends to whoever you want for do, there'll be dollars, there'll be foreign currency for for pay. No problem. The banking system will be such that there'll be liquidity in the system, the dollars go there, the pound sterling go there, the euros go there. But when we do it this way, we will ensure say we at least get the dollars for come back where they happen now. We also get forget a system wherein we add value to things before we export. So which means all our minerals, our agricultural produce, and all of these things where we export raw, and we not benefit from as much as we will benefit if we add value inside this country. We go try for add value to them in this country so that they begin export. Somebody say easier said than done. Yes, it's easier said than done. But for make you able to do anything, you got to understand what it needs to be done. So at the show, and I say I know what needs to be done, and because I know what it needs to be done, we will put together a team for ensure that it happen. And these things I'm saying have worked in other countries, and therefore they will work in Sierra Leone. So we will have these medium to long-term measures we will put in place. We will attract the investors then for come to this country for set up these industries, these factories where they need for added value, and that will create more jobs, and it will even reduce the pressure on government for being the sole employer. Whereas we will get the private sector to be the largest employer, and people that will get more money, and even with brothers and sisters within the diaspora, we get qualifications we're useful in this country, they will get a reason for come back into Sierra Leone and work and contribute to this country. Wonderful.
Yeah, many thanks for that, Dr. Konteh. And in a short sentence or just short, what about those skeptics? Like we get one or two on the platform now, we express their sentiment by saying it's easier said than done. And honestly, you get the practical side and you get the theoretical side. So largely you're not in government yet, but this is what you intend to do. So it might sound easier when you articulate how will you address those kind of person and the skeptics?
I don't answer that just now.
Okay.
For making people do anything, you forget an understanding of what needs to be done. Okay. And when I talk, at the show say I get an understanding. But I've been there. I've been part of government before I understand what needs to be done. But I also understand for say when we say we do these things, it's not rocket science. We get for learn from best practice. We don't need for reinvent the wheel. When I talk about buying the minerals in Leons from the mining companies, it has been done in Ghana. So right now, I get a team in Ghana where they study how they do in Ghana from any work. So when we can, when they invent the wheel, would they try for study and see this, which challenge the face and apply? When we talk, say, would they use water from the ocean for desalinator and make sure say free to get water on a permanent basis? Would they go Senegal? Would they go see how they do it? Would they go to Cape Verde? Would they go see how they do it? Would they go Egypt? Would they go see how they do it? And learn lessons from that and use that day, understand it, for Douala Sierra Leone. We not get for car pretend as if we can start from scratch. It has never happened before. This is new. There's nothing new, not to rocket science. We can for car.
All right, Doc. We need for
other countries have worked their way through these processes. So we go learn lessons from them and use that day for make things work in Sierra Leone.
All right, Doc. Many thanks for that. Just for the benefit of time, we are quickly running out of time. I get a few questions that I want for let we cover. And one of them could be, from the very beginning of the current administration and leadership, they said a lot of things. And of course, we can go over that. We will spend tons of hours, for go over that. But a particular one was one which was very appealing to the Sierra Leonean people. There were a couple of them that were appealing. The issue about corruption against APC was appealing to Sierra Leonean people because they want to see justice. And then the other one was the president turned the education business into a flagship program. Then mentioned something what they call free, not only free, but quality was added there, for qualified, free, and quality education. But from what we know now, it is simply not working, sir. Was it all politics or hot air from the start? Was it doomed to fail? The reason why I bring up this question is the potential presidency of Dr. Konteh is, before coming into politics, my understanding is you were an educator. You were teaching, your people, about the art of education, what they need for do, for make advancements in their lives. If we agree, say that this flagship, in inverted comma, program of President Bio is a failure. It's a failure. Teachers not being paid. The thing is not off the ground. Okay. Waiting you go do differently in terms of education, way na key priority for any government.
Thank you very much. You see, the government of Madabio, they make education, free quality education, their flagship project. And they attract an obscene amount of money from partners for that project.
Yeah.
Sadly, only God knows that money they end up. Because we will not see how they apply them in reality. You come, if you say free education, but we they see people drop out of university because they not get fees for pay. So where's the free education? And except if you have to tell me, say, that they only do them for people that will belong to a particular tribe, particular political party, particular region, or other types of considerations. But if it is for Sierra Leoneans, then I believe, say, me and you were able to see how it's a good effect. I would not foresee people drop out of college. So that makes we say, when we come, it's true that may not be a UU teacher or then an unqualified teacher, may not be a degree teacher at secondary school, it may not be a university lecturer. But beyond that, I also study education. So I understand about education. So waiting we get for do, when you talk about fixing the educational system at this country, you get for look at one, the curriculum. The curriculum where we get in this country is not fit for the current times. We therefore get a curriculum way suitable. It will surprise you, for example, for let's say, even though we get the mining companies, we get the potential for oil in this country, etc., etc. We not even get inside this country professional industrial welders. If we need industrial welders, we get for go out, we go get and come. We get for therefore, when they be envisaged 6334, they've been doing such that it will address the manpower needs at the middle level of this country. It will also ensure, say, begin the way not cut out for the grammar school type of education, not drop out. Sadly, we still say 6334 day for us, but we know they actually implement it fully. Because the one the way not cut out for the grammar school type of education, the options for them not many. So make we they say when we come, we will ensure, say, there'll be vocational centers in all districts, and we will train people there across all disciplines, and we go support them with startup capital for set up the businesses for serve their communities. So we therefore fix the curriculum and make it work. Two, we therefore make sure, say, we've addressed the infrastructure, the buildings. If you come, you say, make them close 2 shifts, make them make 1 shift, single shift, all over the country. Excellent idea, but where are the classrooms? So when they end up for happening, we get 200 people inside one class, 100 people inside one class. You go to Flagbeare College, you see students that they snap in a window for take lectures, those types of things, they happen. It not good. So we get for fix the infrastructure. 3, we get for look at the training of we teachers at all levels, up to the university level. Make sure say we get the appropriate training for we teachers. 4, we get for deal with the issue of remuneration, the conditions of service for we teachers. It's very, very deplorable at the moment. And sadly, even that small one day, they don't even earn. We get people like where they say they get PIN code, but they don't go for 1 year and no pay. And even for make them get PIN code, you get a particular surname, or you belong to a particular political party, or you connected to somebody where you get influenced in that political party. That is not right. This is not the Sierra Leone way we all want for living. Every Sierra Leonean forget an equal and unfettered opportunity to actualize your potentials. So we have to fix the issue of the conditions of service of we teachers. We get a situation where they say free primary and secondary education for government institutions. They say that they give subsidy. It will surprise you for no say throughout this academic year, we don't do so. I not think say any school they will get more than 1/4 subsidy payment. All the 3 quarters, nothing. What you expect for happen in that school day? Which kind good teaching learning process get for take place? So we get a situation wherein if you indeed say free quality education like your flagship project, but then you not address these issues, no problem. Waiting happen like that, we get a situation wherein then they run the Ministry of Education on social media. Then they rely on posting wrong data on social media for give the impression for say wonderful things are happening in Sierra Leone, when the reality is so wrong. And and the people them, I don't think they don't succeed for get the right type of people for head the Ministry of Education, especially the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. They not succeed for do that yet. The people that always don't put in a square peg in round holes. They don't understand. They count their theoretical concepts. Yeah, we just don't understand them. And what it don't happen like that with educational system in this country, they don't so watered down. Now, even an institution where we get such credibility like WAEC, they don't politicize them. Now, the exams where WAEC they conduct and nothing to write home about. It's sad. They don't water down the education system. And it's so bad that even we own tertiary institutions don't get any more confidence in the results where WAEC they produce. They don't get any more confidence. So rather, when somebody now apply for going to college, you go take exam again, entrance exam, na college. So then what the WAEC result for now? What the WAS for now? If we don't pass the WAS, I got to go take entrance exam again. So you see, this things will go for. And I like say Prince, when I talk about certain things, I get practical experience. Me, I not only be a teacher, a lecturer. Me papa na be teacher. Me wife self in papa na be teacher. So we don't live within education. And then personally, I get 3 schools, private schools.
Yeah.
I get school na Juba, na Freetown. I get school na Allentown. I get school na Makeni. So I did practically come to terms with the challenges because on the daily basis. In addition to that, when I talk about the private sector and the challenges, where would they get? Me like a small-time businessman.
Okay, Dr. Konteh,
So I understand the challenges where would they face in the private sector, the negative effect of these heightened taxes, where they put on how they undermine the chances for survival, and how plenty businesses that they even collapse Just
Okay, Doc.
the things that they play. So if we have, once we go out, we don't forget a holistic approach to address these issues. That's probably steps I just try for put forward now today.
Yeah, many thanks for that. We are quickly coming to the end of this program. I think I got 2 or 3 more questions for you where I will expect to let you answer probably briefly. But just for address, here to some of the comments being made, specifically by a guy called Brian McCanney. Listen, this platform is interactive, but one of the ethos is comments should be respectable. Respectable not mean say you can't criticize, but they criticize within the confine of civility. But if you just they throw insults and you're not making any positive contribution, then you're as dumb as the comments than way they make yourself. I mean, you keep insulting the guest by talking about things where the man don't talk and as a matter of record, he's been exonerated from those charges by a court of law. What is it that you don't understand, for goodness sake? Are you and people who think like you're not part of the problem in the country? He's been exonerated by a court of law. What else do you keep going with the same ranting and toxicity just for creating some atmosphere? To be honest, I did hear some of your views, then I read the other one. They're not fit to be put, here on the platform because you're just outrightly an indecent, person. Anyway, let's carry on. And many thanks to the guest. But all of this is covered by many people who are making positive contribution. You can be critical of somebody. You don't need to heap insults on person on that way. And that's all you're doing. You're not making any contribution. It seems like you can't do exactly what you do. I mean, first you read your game plan, that means you're not going to win because your game plan is being read. Dr. Konteh, back on track.
Yes, sir.
There are other sectors in government, to talk about specifically the government of Sierra Leone, which are equally not functioning well. I mean, the whole thing is in shambles. Whether or not the ministry whether or not the health ministry, I mean, in fact, mortality rate is up, poverty is there, tourism not doing well, transport and aviation, and we could name, tons of areas. The idea is the economy, and it's not doing well, so therefore it's affected all over this place. But all them projects there and ministries, they need for function, and whether they function, they need money. And for need money, you need for generate the money. So my question to you, potentially as a president, how would you address the issue of costing projects? Where does the money come from? Would you be deriving money from more tax? We will create just more poverty because you put taxation, increase, taxation on business people, then pass on to the consumers, and you just create more poverty like we see. How would you address this issue?
That is precisely the stage we're now. I get a team where they work on the economy, where they crunch the figures and do the analysis. But one thing where we don't reach as a conclusion that we get for reduced taxes across the board. When we reduce taxes across the board, we go make it easier for people left for pay the taxes. And then we broaden the tax base and capture people from the informal sector into the formal sector. It will interest you for no say over 95% of the people in this country they pay tax. And the 5% who they pay tax, they pay enough. And so that includes even the mining companies. And as if that is not bad enough, would they even now get discrepancy in the figures? Last week we heard about the tussle between the Ministry of Finance and the NMA. NMA said they don't give this much to the under the single window to the Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance said they're not receiver. So the question is, beside the money go? Yeah. So we have all of these issues where we need for address as a country. But yes, we believe, say, we have to reduce taxes. We're not going to increase taxes. And I've been telling you to say, we get for close the loopholes. When you go now Wataki, for example, for go clear your goods, there are too many middlemen.
I mean, what do you go do differently, Dr. Konteh, in terms of what Akiwe just mentioned and closing loopholes? The current administration, the points I want to make is the current administration, they made a similar promise that they will close the loopholes, then the Sambagota and Wataki and this and that. So even though that day you go, I just want to bring this to you that the current government promised the saloon people a similar thing.
If you know me track record, you could not say anything at all. When I came to Sierra Leone and I said we will have a one-stop shop and we're going to make it possible for you to register a business in 24 hours, we did it. We introduced Hachikoda, we introduced the fast-track commercial courts to be able to deal with issues of insolvency, issues around how do we enforce contracts, how do we ensure that commercial disputes are settled in a very short time so that be a deterrent to more investment, and we ensure that we make Sierra Leone the 6th most improved country in the world for ease of doing business. We do it. So when I tell you what we are going to do, that's why I'm very practical in things we are doing. I tell you, say, people that they charge, people that they pay 250,000 new loans, for example, for clear 140-foot container. But when you check what they actually get into the CRF, they reach 100,000.
Goodness me.
Most of this money, they end up in the hands of the tax collectors themselves. So therefore, waiting we get for do, we cut off the middleman. We get a system in place wherein when you import your commodities, you get your bill of lading. They go online and file your papers. And then online, before even your goods and they arrive, they don't value your goods. And then you pay directly to government. They go through a middleman. They pay to person, the person go negotiate for you and go pay. So that you cut off the middleman completely. Will also increase the working hours by the port from the current 8 hours to at least 16 hours, so that we will reduce the demurrage where people and they pay. We get for do that because this demurrage, they can't to government too. If they go to the shipping companies and Bolloré and others, just enrich them, enrich the rich, and impoverish the poor. So we get for reduce that and ensure say it happen. We ensure say they walk into the night. We forget a computerized system wherein you come, you log in, the work where you off, you log in and you log out and go home. Somebody else come and cast you on that same seat day on that same computer and do a work. Nobody they monopolize anything. Too much secrecy. No, for the way they do things. So we will bring a bit more transparency and openness the way they do business at the port, and we go ensure say anybody we found culpable of any underarm deals where they do will face the full force of the law.
All right, many thanks. Will your administration, and they talk about the presidency now, will they take action with immediate effect against all those who will be accused of corruption? We know say corruption is rampant, and now you just articulate just now, so both at the port and their connections, to this corrupt. There's a trail in finance, and say follow the money trail, and then you go see it's like a slug, the young of a snail. Yeah. So will your administration will immediately take action against people accused of corruption?
No, we're not going to take action against people accused because the accusation might be false. I'll tell you, say any action where we get for take for being informed by the evidence. And if the evidence so suggests, then we could take appropriate action so it could serve as a deterrent to anybody. But one thing we not go for do, not for go on a witch hunt. Okay. We're not going to repeat the mistakes where this government they do when they come into power in 2018. Where they come they go on a wild chase.
Okay.
While at the end of the day, they not get nothing for sure. Okay. For which they do. We not forget that obsession. No.
And then spend tons of government money, bring foreign judges, pay them huge money in foreign capitals, and that is it. And we not see the Sierra Leonean people not benefit anything. What a waste. And in terms of what you just say, if the evidence is strong against somebody, then obviously your government will take action. Would you be willing to take action if the evidence is mounting and thorough and proper against the current sitting president who is being accused? Of course, he stands accused of being very corrupt. If the evidence is mounting against the president, Julius Maada Bio, will you be in a position for take action against them?
If I answer that question, it would be prejudicial. So I will not answer it. Sorry.
Okay, understood.
But already I will say now that we'll not do any witch hunt, we'll not go after anybody, and we'll not go repeat the mistakes of the past administration. However, people will bear the greatest responsibility for crimes we don't have in this country, and things we don't go wrong in this country will get their day in court.
The number of aspirants them is growing. It's growing. They talk about potential Flagbearer aspirants. Once then we don't declare and other names they will we get for commot. My question to you, Dr. Konteh, and this is my final question to you. How do you rate your chances? Do you think that you will be the one?
Yes, I'm very confident that I'll be the one. I'll be the flag bearer for the All People's Congress Party, and I'll be the next president of Sierra Leone. God be my helper.
Dr. Richard Konteh, it's always a pleasure talking to you, sir, and the platform deeply appreciate your presence.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir, and good night.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir. So, Fambulen, we've come to the end of a very significant and a milestone interview where I'm sure will make the headlines. So, I tell you, thank you for the one that we participate, on the program. We help for share the program, and it doesn't end here. Please like or follow the platform and try for share. And where they come for can contribute to the platform. I mean, let's be critical of we potential leader them, but let's do it in a respectful manner. This platform gets zero tolerance on insults, okay? It's very highly placed. I thank you now all anyway, all the same. Thank you for all the contributors. On behalf of the TNN Media Empire, this is now Prince Krumah for the TNN podcast. Good night to all.
Good night.
Yes, sir.